Hold a moment, please. Strom.
Scanning. Confirmed. It's her, all right.
Welcome to Taris, Master Jedi. Apologies for the delay, but Governor Suresh requests your help with some security issues on the Reconstruction project.
I'm afraid you'll need to ask someone else.
Please, hear us out. It's very important. Taris is substantially more hazardous than initial reports had suggested. The specifics aren't common knowledge off-world, but
We're trying to rebuild a planet covered with toxic junk and diseased carnivorous monsters. And it ain't working.
Governor Suresh has plans to alleviate some of these issues, but they require highly skilled individuals to carry out. Individuals like you.
How does the governor plan on dealing with this exactly?
She'll be happy to discuss the details with you in person. I'll let her know you'll be stopping by.
Just hear her out. You can make a huge difference here.
Thank you for your time.
I'm sure it would work if we had the manpower, but we don't. The numbers just aren't on our side.
Success isn't in the numbers, Chief. We don't need more people, we need the right people.
Finish your talk later. I'm here and I don't have all day.
Bardo and Strom found you after all. Good. Thank you for coming in. I'm Governor Suresh. Our goal on Taris is straightforward. Rebuild everything the Sith destroyed, and remind the galaxy that the Republic never gives up. But resources are tight, and we have some serious challenges. Toxic chemical spills, scavenging pirates, and the wildlife.
Rat ghouls. One bad bite can turn you into a vicious monster just like them. There's thousands out there, maybe even millions.
A bunch of mindless beasts are holding back the whole Republic?
These creatures are anything but mindless. The rat ghouls use tunnels buried in the ruins to attack by surprise and overwhelm our soldiers. Every work crew we send out is decimated. We came here to achieve the greatest reconstruction project in Republic history. Instead, the workers hide in this outpost like frightened children. No more.
I came to work, not listen to speeches. What's the plan?
We need to level the field so our security forces can do their job. Chief Trigg has put together a plan.
A suicidal plan.
A bold plan to collapse the tunnels the rat ghouls are using to ambush our people. I know you're up for the task.
Old ventilation shafts still connect a few hubs in the tunnel network to the surface. You drop explosives in enough of them, and the whole thing collapses.
I assume you and your associates won't back off until this is dealt with.
You aren't a prisoner here. I'd prefer that you do this because you see why our work here is important. You have a reputation for overcoming impossible odds. Live up to that reputation. Help us transform Taris into the future of the Republic.
I don't care what your plan is, we're not sticking around to get eaten alive. Me and my crew are leaving, period.
If you want to abandon the work you agreed to do for the Republic, I can't stop you, but you aren't leaving. A 6-month quarantine requirement has been put into effect. Anyone trying to leave without prior authorization is subject. You can sit in a medical bay and go broke, or you can help us accomplish something unprecedented. It's your choice.
I put my life on the line to keep you safe. This is how you repay me.
This is insane! We're construction workers! We didn't sign up for this!
I know you're going to make the right decision here, Hull. Come back when you do. Unfortunately, not everyone flourishes in the face of adversity. Scouting parties are already reporting lower rat ghoul populations. Most of our work crews are gearing up. We're finally gonna get this project moving.
There are still a lot of rat ghouls and wreckage out there.
Obstacles exist to be overcome. My ancestors called Taris home once. Thanks to you, millions of people might call it home again someday. Stay safe. and stay in touch.
Hey, you're not a refugee and you're not an aid worker. Why are you here?
Maybe you should tell me who you are first.
Name's Urana Keel. See, people with no reason to be here are usually thieves. But I'm not getting thief vibes from you. If you're looking for, well, anything, you won't find it here. Scavengers have our homes and the army's fighting them. While one side's looting, the other's bombing. And we get to sit in a tent and hope.
That's a little personal, wouldn't you agree?
What else am I going to do? Got no job, no house. My mom's practically catatonic. The whole camp's just waiting to go back to the settlement, but the scavengers are still there, probably looting left and right.
I could check out your home, see if it's still standing.
Hey, did you say you're going to her house?
Someone's going to the settlement? Get me my land speeder!
My farming droids are still out there. Oh, and my sonic washer. Hey, Bada, get out here. Someone's making a trip.
All of you, back off. We do this one at a time, or nobody gets anything. This could take a while. Are you still in?
A favor is one thing. If I'm ransacking a war zone, I'll need to be paid.
That's fair. But you get payment after, not before. Get to our houses and bring back... Well, Laisha, you start.
I want my digging tools. I don't know how long we'll be here, and if we're going to build or grow anything, we'll need them.
All I hear all day is dumb boys fighting because there's nothing to do. I've got a box with 10 custom Pazak decks. Bring those.
I got a micro generator in my toolbox. Bring the toolbox and we can plug in everything electric.
I've spent years working on a novel in my spare time. It's on data file. I'm sure it won't have been stolen.
And what I need is our Nadu seeds. Just a few packets would go a long way. It'd mean everything to my mother. Please, hurry. Laisha, Vetus, everybody, she's back.
Is everything okay? What did the scavengers take?
Okay, calm down, people. Let's deal with the possessions first, so those who want to can leave.
My life has value, and I risked it. What have you got in return?
Are you serious? You saw we were beaten down and came to take whatever we had left?
I'm out then. Someone stole my credit chip. I've got nothing.
I've got credits, but just enough for me.
Urana, it's all right. I've got some credits, I'll cover it. It's going to be okay. Here, just give us what you found and get out.
You don't look like a pirate. You're not a pirate, are you? Please tell me you're not a pirate.
Don't mind him, Jedi. Pirates attacked our settlement and fed his family to the Rakghouls. None of us have been the same, really. Perhaps you can help us?
It's survival of the fittest out here.
First pirate that crosses my path, bang! Feed him to the Rakghouls. See how he likes it.
Look, maybe he's not all there, but all of us know how he feels. We built a settlement out here. We defended it from Rakghouls. We started families. And those pirates attacked and took everything. It's hard not to want revenge. But mostly we just need to move on. Start a new settlement on a different part of the planet, maybe.
If you want to stay on Taris, you're as loopy as your friend.
We've already invested so much in this place. We can't leave now. We had equipment at our camp that made Taris livable. Protected us from the Rakghouls. If we can get that equipment back, we can start over. Maybe start to forget and heal. Can you help?
Anything for a chance to kick in some pirate skulls.
Oh, thank goodness you've got our equipment. I've got word of another group of settlers not far from here. We'll probably set up camp together.
They are one with the Force.
I smell blood. Pirate blood. Stinky, gooey pirate blood.
The pirates are all dead, Ivan. Now we can leave. We can build a new settlement. Let's go. It's amazing, isn't it? To stand at the site of such history. The fall of Taris has always cast a shadow over the Republic. So many millions of our people are descended from the refugees who fled its destruction. And we've carried its effects for far too long.
Nice speech. What are you looking for? Applause?
I'm sorry, I'm Dr. Synoda. I have made it my life's work to cure Kolu syndrome, a rare cancer that affects only the descendants of Tarisian refugees. But I have reached the limits of what I can do without the original settlers' medical records. I came here to access the systems in Taris's old general hospital, but I, underestimated the dangers.
I didn't realize you were still talking.
No, please, I need your help. You look like you can handle yourself out there. Please go to the old hospital. I have the plans here. There are emergency generators that may still work. If you bring them up, we can download the old records. Bring them back, and you could save millions of people from a life of pain and early death.
These are all the medical records I could find.
Thank you. I am sure you have braved many higher-profile dangers, but you will never do anything more important. You have saved countless lives. One of them may well be mine. My ancestors fled Taris 300 years ago, and my family still carries their curse. I thank you. Thank you for coming so fast. I told you the commander would send someone, Gartha.
The commander didn't send her. Don't you recognize a Jedi when you see one?
Then we really are saved. Master Jedi, may I please beg your aid? Have you ever faced a Rakghoul before?
I wouldn't be much of a Jedi if I let a beast scare me off.
Really? Because they're the most terrifying things I've ever seen. Dragged down 3/4 of our team before we could do anything. We're a Republic archaeological salvage team. They call us the corpse counters because we're cataloging the bodies from the bombardment.
We were in an old Zerka works pipe this morning when those monsters came out of nowhere. They killed our guards and half a dozen of our team.
They might not be dead. We ran, we didn't see. Could you please just check if anyone survived?
The Republic is risking your lives to gather up some ancient bones.
It's important work.
It's pointless work. People are dying out here, so the Republic can have a list they'll never look at.
These people deserve someone to acknowledge their deaths. Only, most of our team were lost this morning when Rakghouls cut us off. I was hoping that you might go see if anyone is still alive.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you. It means a lot knowing we're not abandoning them. We were in the Zerka Works pipeline. If you go soon, there may still be someone there.
No, there's no hope for our friends now. But maybe you can make those monsters pay for what they did.
This is for you, Gartha. I saw you ahead of me there, before the pack cut us off. Just want to tell you, you're wrong. The dead do care what happens to them after they die. I'm one of them now. I hear those monsters sniffing for me in the dark, and I know I'll be with the dead before anyone comes for us. And I do care. But I'd rather lie here 1,000 years undiscovered than have some greedy son of a Hutt like you dig me up just to see what I've got that's worth stealing. I hope someone else finds this and makes you pay for your crimes, like I'm about to pay for mine.
You're back, and I don't see anyone with you. Did you... are they?
Dead? What did you think? The Rakghouls would buy them flowers and send them home?
Actually, one of them left you a message, Gartha.
A message? Oh, that must be Alizu. They were very close. I'll call the base and tell them what happened.
I'm putting in for a transfer. No job is worth this.
This has taken enough of my time.
Well, thanks for going in. You showed more concern than the Republic ever has.
Wait, you're not leaving, are you? I wanted to... That is, you did us such a favor. Could I maybe ask another? Did you notice anything about the number of rat ghouls in that pipe? I think it's more than most places, right?
Oh, not that nonsense again.
Is this leading up to something?
Okay, this'll sound crazy, but there's more rat ghouls at our grave sites than any of the Republic target zones.
Ah, they're just drawn to the noise and the smell of flesh.
We're not any noisier or fleshier than a platoon of soldiers. I think they're protecting their ancestors.
Is there a point to all of this?
All we know about rat ghouls right now is they have a disease that can turn people into monsters, and they've taken over all of Taris. But if my theory is correct, it'll be our first insight into how they think. This could be a first step toward taking the planet back from them.
And maybe it's psychic vibrations in the sunspots. I've got better things to do.
I told you no one cares about your crackpot theories, Sierra. Stick to counting bones. Let someone else do the science.
Really? I think I can prove it. If you could get samples from both the rat ghouls and the skeletons at one of the main sites, we could see if they're related.
Do you have details? What exactly are we talking about?
There probably isn't a way to get a rat ghoul to volunteer a genetic sample, so, I guess you'll be killing them. Then we'll compare their blood samples with genetic material from corpses in the same area.
Let's get this over with.
No, Sierra. You cannot take up any more of her time with these ridiculous theories.
It's her choice if she thinks it's worth it. Please don't let Gartha discourage you. This is important. And I don't think there's anyone else on this planet willing to brave those rat ghouls to find out. I'll be waiting to hear what you find. The Republic sent a unit to retrieve our team's bodies. They said to thank you for your help.
Aren't you going to ask if she went after your pet project?
Did you get to the bombardment site? I don't see a scratch on you.
Can you check right now? I want to see if anything comes of this.
Just let me see the samples. I've got a portable scanner that can give us preliminary results right now. That's amazing. There's over a 50% correlation. Genetic drift usually means a much less marked connection, even in a normal population after so many years.
So we're done here, right?
You can't leave now. Did you hear what she said? This is amazing!
What? Where's the cynical disbelief?
You can't dispute the numbers, Sierra. You're right. This is amazing. If rat ghouls have enough rationality to remember people and places that matter to them, we can't keep treating them like mindless animals!
They've slaughtered millions of people, including your friends.
We need to cancel our operations in these grave sites. We can't keep antagonizing them.
But if we know they come to the defense of certain territories, we can bait them, draw them out, so the Republic can send in troops to exterminate them.
No, if they're sentient, we can't just keep murdering them.
I'll contact the Reconstruction Authority. Do you have an opinion on this?
Rat ghouls are a contagious predatory species. Our only option is to wipe them out.
Isn't that the thinking that got Elisu and the others killed?
You can't reason with a monster, Gartha. You of all people should know that. I'll give the Republic your recommendation. Thank you again for all your help.
Master Jedi, please excuse my abruptness. The Republic told me you might be able to help with a difficult situation. They say you are a most reliable operative on Taris. Have you heard anything about titroxinate being sold on the black market?
What do you think I can do about it?
I just thought you might be able to help us keep it out of the wrong hands. Titroxinate was the pre-patent name for the weaponized agent we think was responsible for the Rakghoul plague. The Empire could fashion it into a terrible weapon, turning our soldiers into monsters and setting them against us.
What would you have me do?
Trace the original titroxinate samples to an old Chemworks factory. It's overrun with Nexu. We can't get near it. If you can retrieve any canisters that remain, the Republic will see you're well rewarded for your effort.
These are all the canisters I was able to recover.
Thank you. The Republic thanks you. Imagine how horrific it would be if the Rakghoul nightmare had spread to the rest of the galaxy. Please, take this for your service.
What do you think, Khan?
The foundation of the Taris Chemworks factory cannot be repaired. I expect total collapse within 2 weeks. Once the building falls, the stored chemicals will flood this area. They are highly toxic to humans. I am sorry.
I'll make sure there are speeders on hand, but we can't just pack up and go. Do what you can.
As always, I will pursue an alternative. Master Jedi, forgive my inattentiveness. I am honored by your presence, though I advise you not to stay long.
Thanks, but I keep my own counsel.
Again, I apologize. Perhaps I can approach this matter differently. Many of these ruins are unstable. A nearby structure used for chemical storage is on the verge of crumbling. As I was explaining to my colleague, there is only one way to remove the chemicals before they spill. A burn-off. A well-armed demolitions team could reach the structure and incinerate the chemical stockpiles. I can provide the incendiaries. Unfortunately, no team is available.
I wouldn't worry. It can't get much worse than this.
You are, apologies, mistaken. These chemicals are known to cause at least 17 distinct illnesses. Between the structural instability, the toxicity levels, and the incendiary chemicals, the mission does carry substantial risk. It is nonetheless urgent. You are not a demolitions team, I fully recognize this. But if you could arrange the burn-off, I would humbly welcome your aid. I can smell chemicals on you, but I also smell fire and smoke. Did you complete the burn-off? All the toxins and pollutants have been incinerated?
That was a complete and total waste of my abilities.
A pity you perceive it this way. I believe you have saved lives. The structure will still collapse, but it shall leave no poison in its wake. Perhaps we can rebuild the area after all.
Would you like a chance to be part of one of the great mysteries of the Republic's past? We have irrefutable proof that Revan once sheltered here, soon after returning to the Republic from the Sith. There are many tales of how Revan rescued Bastila Shan and changed galactic history, but there were smaller lives touched as well.
I don't have time for stories.
Ah, but surely you have time to take part in one of the greatest projects of our lifetime? 300 years ago, the outcasts of Taris lived deep below the city, where the Rakghoul plague originated. Revan's journals record bringing them a cure for the plague and leading them to the secure colony called the Promised Land, yet we don't know if they survived.
This place is a toxic wasteland. There's no way anyone survived.
Then what killed them? And what might that teach us about Taris? If you are braving the wilderness anyway, keep your eyes open. My assistant is coordinating excavations. Anything you find, bring to him. Perhaps these Promised Ones left some record, something to talk to us across the ages.
We
are saved. An Upworlder has restored to us the work of my grandfathers. At last, we have a place to escape this oppressive city and the laws that keep us beneath it. A place where we can breathe. This will be no secret to anyone listening, but Taris has been attacked. The upper and lower city were destroyed. We have found the Promised Land, but have nowhere to return to. If only we had arrived sooner. The Promised Land is the original Taris colony site. It was sheltered from the direct bombardment, but the quakes have destroyed every building and generator left. We must start again from scratch, but at least we have survived. The rat ghouls are still feeding on the dead, but when the meat is gone, they will begin to hunt.
We mourn today for Rukel, who brought us out of the Undercity and into the Promised Land. We have sent scouts throughout Taris and can find no other survivors. They cast us out and bar their doors to us. But now we bury our dead in the ashes of their skyscrapers. As Rukel told us, it is not an easy life. Our children will grow up in a world of spears and bows, not blasters and starships. It is my burden to preserve our memories. Once we were outcasts. Once we were the promised ones. Now we are Taris. Breeding. Back in the Undercity, they were produced only by infecting us. And now, there are more every day. We lose people to them, a few every year, but only as meat. The serum the Upworlder brought us has held true. We do not sicken. But now the serum is gone. We have had 4 infants born who could not be immunized. All boys. We will not be able to protect them forever. We need our full strength to defend the tribe. Maybe the immunity was inherited. Maybe we do not need to worry that a bite, a scratch, will turn our children against us. Maybe I do not need to fear for my son.
I am Kuki, 14th Keeper of Memories after Rukil. We now number 53 adults and 21 children. We lost 4 abled bodies and 2 child bearers to the rat ghoul virus this year. Our records say there used to be a cure. We have lost so much. Tomorrow, we leave to search for higher ground. Plants are growing. Nature has reclaimed what once belonged to men. Nature is cruel. 2 of every 3 of our babies die to sickness and hunger. If we are to live, we must rebuild our walls.
We forgot. I am the memory. I have Rukil's descriptions. I know there was a city once. I know a city is many houses, many people. I am the only one. Now, there is just us. We have stopped having children. The old records say it is from toxic radiation. We once called this the Promised Land. It was a lie. It is our grave.
Your supervisor sent me. I found out what happened to your promised ones. There's no happy ending.
I knew they couldn't have disappeared without a trace. Give me what you found. Let us learn the history of this doomed planet so we don't repeat it.
Oh, excuse me. Something in the air. Spores, I think. Name's Wintag. I'm working on the Republic Taresian Archival Database. We call it RepTat. I'm assigned to explore the old city myself, but I'm not handling the change of atmospheres very well. I don't suppose you'd be up for a little job exploring the ruins? We're well funded, so I can pay you for your trouble.
I'm not looking for an excuse to go treasure hunting.
I'm not talking about digging up old cookpots. I'm talking about finding the archive set up by Taris's own government to preserve their knowledge and culture in the event of disaster. I've been working on this for years, and I believe I finally pinpointed the location of their archive.
What do you need from me?
I've tried to approach the location before, but it is positively overrun with raccoons. I couldn't get close. If you could get past them, let my assistant know how to arrange retrieval. Her constitution is stronger than mine.
This is a restricted area. There have been no security breaches for the past 111,325 days. Please show your credentials to enter.
You try to stop me from going in there, I'm ripping out your voice box.
Well, I am not programmed to fight. There are numerous automated defenses in place. My programming appears to contain a contradiction. I'm instructed only to open this door to a member of the Taresian government. But when the archive was brought online, all members of the ruling government were contained within. I have received no information on their successors.
Get out of my way.
Alert! Alert! Intruder! That's odd. The defenses appear, inoperational. This is the ruling government of Taris, as last appointed, plus representatives of every major science and industry. Their final wish was to be thawed when Taris was once more in the hands of the Republic. Here is data on all those contained within.
What would you have me do?
My programming instructions end here.
I was told you might be coming. Was there anything in the archive?
Apparently, the ancient Taresian government thought the most important thing to preserve was themselves.
Themselves? What do you mean literally? That's amazing. All this time we've been working from old recordings and the occasional droid, when the key to the whole planet's history is right here.
If you're here from Republic Command, don't worry. We got the message. It's too dangerous. And if you're from the Union, same thing. None of my men are working as long as those tremor maws are in the lake.
What's the lake got to do with this?
Some colonies and survey camps are running out of fresh water, so we were building a pipeline from the North Lake down to them. But the machinery attracted tremor maws. One minute we're enjoying the scenery, and the next, screaming and death, and the project shut down. We exploded a few demolition charges to scare the maws off, but it just makes them want to fight. Our blasts were more like bait.
The Republic outpost has soldiers. Can they spare a few to kill these things?
Yeah, you'd think. But they're the ones who told us to wait. They're exploring options. Flying water in, filters, moisture evaporators. It's nonsense. The pipeline's our only long-term bet. Everything else, colonists can't afford. They'll start deserting soon. No money, no colony. It's frustrating because the charges were already laid. You could flush out every tremor maw in that lake if you wanted.
I could do it. But I have to work for a living too. Understand?
Are you kidding? I learned budgeting on Hutta. We'll take care of you. Just get up to the lake where the demolition charges are. Obviously, when you key them into blow, don't walk. Run out of the blast radius. That stuff is construction-grade detonite. Then, get ready for the fight of your life. Maws can bite through a gripper crane, let alone humanoids like us. The Lake team says they heard you at work. Given the size of those blasts, I'm surprised we didn't down here. Any problems detonating those bombs?
I believe we discussed compensation?
Hey, no problem. I just wanted to give the good news first. I told the Republic the swamp is clear, and they instantly gave the go. No more bureaucratic boondoggle. Now we'll double time it until the pipeline is done. Those colonists are gonna feel a lot better when they can afford a shower.
Master Jedi! Honored to have you. Nice to see some of your order out of the temple and in the world again.
They're coming. The door! The door! We have to get out! Alert the base! Everyone needs to evacuate!
You don't seem terribly concerned.
That's Maya. Former First Lieutenant of the Endar Rebirth, the first scout vessel sent here to evaluate the possibility of recolonization. Ship disappeared 5 years ago, and 3 days ago, Maya comes staggering out of one of the collapsed buildings outside the base. He lived out there. No weapons but what he made from salvage, holding his own against the rat ghouls all that time.
A fascinating story. I'm sure I'll read how it ends.
Well, if your sympathies are lacking, how about your sense of adventure? Maya swears there are other survivors trapped in those ruins, tormented by rat ghouls. Upper brass, sitting on Ord Mantell, say it's too dangerous to send in a rescue unit, so those boys will die to spare some others the risk of it.
Are the brass right? Or are they jumping at shadows?
No, they've got it right. We go in there, we'll lose 3 men for everyone we save. Just beyond the base, thickest part of the city collapsed in on itself. Rat ghouls everywhere, tunnels so tight there's nowhere to run. But I say to deep space with logic. These good Republic boys deserve better. You up for a little adventure?
How does this benefit me?
Right, I can't make the offer official, but I'll personally give you the death benefit for each one you bring back alive.
You'll help? They're in the ruins. The city, it's all collapsed. You can't see the ghouls. Just the yellow eyes and the smell.
Anyone you find, bring them here. We'll make sure they finish their days in comfort.
I'm here to rescue you.
I was about to give up. Thank you. Thank you. He was so close. I could feel his breath on my skin.
You'll be all right now.
I'm finally going home. You saved my life.
Don't worry about it.
I can't believe you came.
Medic! Don't worry. You're safe now. We'll give you something to help you sleep. You did good. Maya says that's all that's left alive. If it wasn't for you, every one of those men would have turned rat ghoul. No, I wish I could have been there.
That was more work than I was led to believe, and I deserve greater payment.
You do at that. I thought you'd maybe bring back one. You got half the crew here. Take this, with my thanks. As soon as those boys pass quarantine, we'll get them to a real hospital. Whatever they need, it's theirs on the Republic's tab. And I'll tell them, it's all thanks to you.
Adravimos brandimus prostis cad adveretag. Carogia gia Israe Christae, dasnia sia lagia ristic. Aprescimus, bava mirgalia vimos del horizonto.
Get on with it already.
Adravimos brandimus prostis cad adveretag. Small sio popudus mana ira padare mana nan kali.
That seems simple enough to me.
Vataranai angomis akananorm, alas protas era. Gratai aptikte, iruprit vertini savasia salvebe kaigis.
Ubude waralu ful kuleg ukunet ugustama akukuzaudu. Afedwata jeng umpurezunta urze serge jesu persentatu.
Whatever you say.
Pruvata galgus sukaratu ta zelsavet muzu maruf.
How many teeth did you say those things have? Over 3,000? Because I think I feel every one of them.
Stop complaining. She barely grazed you. Besides, this gave us solid evidence of changes in Nexu maternal behavior as a result of... You. What do you know of the plight of the endangered Nexu?
Sorry, I don't give donations.
As if mere money could end the terrible predations on these beautiful creatures.
Don't be stupid, Koverma. Not everyone knows what a blasted Nexu is. Big drooling cat. Monster. Thing.
Liberated zoo specimens started a thriving population here on Taris. But the sows are starting to frenzy because their pups are being stolen! Blasted scavengers!
Are Nexu good eating or something?
Some unscrupulous piles of dung think it's fun to throw helpless animals into gladiatorial pits so people can laugh while they're cut into pieces!
Most of the time, the Nexu win.
I'd go after those scavengers myself, but I, lost all feeling in my blaster hand.
To a Nexu love bite.
Of course, if someone else wanted to volunteer...
Let's deal with the compensation first.
I have given all my worldly possessions to the cause of animal rights, but Leifer would be happy to pay you.
I would not!
And I control his accounts while he's convalescing. Just go to the scavengers' camp to the southeast, destroy their cages, and they won't be able to trap Nexu anymore! Well, did you do it? Did you strike a blow for Nexu everywhere?
Oddly easier than striking a blow against Nexu.
Tell me how it went.
It's done. Now how much was it worth to you?
Here. This should cover any medical expenses you might have incurred.
What about my medical expenses?
Nexu attacks should drop dramatically now that they're no longer defending their cubs. Thank you.
Any chance of changing our plans to focus on saving the rare Tarisian bark beetle?
Commander! Commander! Damn! Who are you? What's happened here?
It looks like the rat ghouls are what happened here.
This whole thing, it's all wrong. This wasn't supposed to happen. How did I get stuck cleaning up the Republic's old messes? These men were here to deactivate bombs that the Republic gave to a Taris street gang 300 years ago during the Sith occupation. The bombs were meant to empower a revolt, but the Sith killed that idea when they decided to destroy the planet.
Why is the Republic only going after these bombs now?
We didn't realize that the bombs withstood the planet's destruction until one of our scientific expeditions was inadvertently blown up. I don't know who I angered, but it fell to me to ensure that the remaining bombs were deactivated. These commandos were my last shot. Please, you've survived out there. You have to help me.
You've divulged a lot of information, Agent. I'll do your job. but I may need some compensation to keep quiet.
What? Why? No, you're right. I've only dug myself in deeper telling you all of this. Fine. You'll have your credits, but only after the job is done. The last of the active bombs just disappeared from the grid. I can't thank you enough.
You can give me the credits you promised.
I hoped you'd have a change of heart, but here you go, as promised. Thank you.
Listen here, all you blaster-wielding frontier fighters. Sund Technologies is the best provider of wartime technology the Republic has. Now, I'll tell you, there are some very violent creatures out there. Rat ghouls, Nexu. I have the injuries to prove it. But when there's work to be done, and credits to be made, Sund Tech doesn't rest, and neither should you. What I am offering is a high-paying technological recovery operation that will revolutionize the Republic's work here on Taris.
Taris was destroyed hundreds of years ago. How could there be anything useful here?
I happen to know that 300 years ago, some enterprising swoop racers got their hands on a revolutionary engine accelerator. And I thought, here's the Republic struggling to reclaim Taris because of bad conditions and poor transportation. And the solution's right here. All they need is someone to transform that accelerator into the kind of innovative, high-efficiency transportation Sun Technologies is known for.
Certainly sounds like a good idea.
Can you imagine the speed those things will have? Pure adrenaline. Problem is, the old swoop tracks are crawling with beasts. Beasts that nearly chewed my leg off. I'm not going to say I've overreached myself here, but I'm not really the fighting kind. I could use some help finding the accelerator.
What precisely are you offering?
1 upfront finder's fee, no royalties. A man's got to turn a profit somewhere. I'll throw in some genuine Sun tech if you like. Just head out to the old tracks and scan the old bikes. If you can clear out the beasts so we can salvage the accelerator when you're done, even better. There are 2 things that would really make my day right about now. An Alderaanian brandy, or news that you found the accelerator and cleared the track. One or the other. I'm not picky.
You can salvage to your heart's content. Just give me my fee.
Here you go. Don't spend it all in one place. I hear there's a super fast speeder hitting the market in 10 to 12 months.
You're a Jedi! I didn't know anyone else was out here. I'm Devin Race, milady. I have permission from Master Silvarte to be on Taris. Exploratory mission to the old Jedi Enclave.
Look at you. I'm surprised a master would let you wipe your own nose.
Begging your pardon, I've nearly finished my training. Centuries back, the Jedi had an outpost on Taris. They left shortly before the world burned. I'm here to recover anything left behind. But between the fauna and the looters, I haven't had much luck. We were hoping for holocrons, diaries, Jedi history. In truth, we knew it was a long shot.
So who do you think will get you first? The rat ghouls or the pirates?
I don't intend to die. Look, if you want to help, help. If you want to leave, leave. Master Silvarte warned me that any artifacts left behind would be hidden, protected, sealed in ferrocrete pillars or disguised as statues. Our tools are lightsabers and blasters. If you can cut away the outer layers, find anything from the Enclave in these ruins, bring it to me. I'd be grateful. Good to see you again. Incredible. You actually went through the ruins. Here it is, the history of the Jedi on Taris. Artifacts I don't even recognize. Exactly what we need to rebuild the Order.
I'm afraid I was expecting something more.
It's a good deed done, but I can compensate you somehow, if you like. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And may the Force be with you.